from day one, there was like a standard that was set from everyone. Like, hey, we're doing this and we're going hard and we're going to push each other.
And it lasted.
And it lasted right till the end.
I actually think it got better.
I think knowing everyone like sort of made that deal with everyone, it sort of allowed freedom to go and push harder.
It's also just keeping everyone accountable, you know? Like if you say, I had a bad day on one of the days, Yelena immediately, she was straight onto it. She was like picking me up immediately. There was no delay. And it's that kind of attitude to keep each other accountable, keep each other lifted up, you know, and don't let anyone get too low. That's really good.
Yeah, and in saying that, for the listeners out there, it's not like this training camp was just rainbows and daisies and you're all trying really hard and you're all improving. There was a lot of frustration throughout that camp. Like a lot of people saying like, this wasn't good enough or blah, blah, blah. It was great that you had everybody to pick each athlete up when that happened. But without frustration, there is no improvement. Like,
yeah.
What's the...
I think everyone... Oh, what saying you think?
Yeah, the saying, nothing worthwhile is easy, or that sort of saying.
The saying that you need to sit in your uncomfortableness, and because that's where you learn and you grow. Like we were all uncomfortable throughout that scenario. There were parts where at the end of the day, we recapped on every single part of the session, and just everyone went through and they were like, I need to improve on this. I need to improve on this and this and this and this. Everyone's sitting in that uncomfortable feeling, knowing what they can't do, and this is how they're going to improve on it because we're able to, we have that self-knowledge about ourselves.
And there was a fair share of tensions as well, would you say?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
There's a couple of like, not just big hits and like making some mistakes, but like, I reckon there was some like
how so, man?
Stuffy, like kind of things.
Who were you saying stuff you to?
You had to be there.
I was, bitch.
It wasn't anything like malicious, but it's just like a case of like, like I don't feel good enough. And so then you take it out on yourself, and then you also like, you try too hard and then it just comes back the wrong way. And I think everyone had their fair share of those moments. But like you said, having someone like Yelena or even like Rory and Daniel really good at that, just like going, hey mate, just like, even though the day before they were having the exact same moment. So it's so funny, you know, you sit in there and you talk to your mates that are having that moment. You go, hey, like, don't think like that, be positive, or just try the next one. And then the next day you're in that moment and you can't listen to your own advice that you gave you. It's just funny. So
yeah, the big takeaway from that as well, it was like, if you got frustrated that you couldn't score on somebody or that they were scoring on you and you're like, I can't believe this is happening, like that's not good enough. Guess what? You're fighting your teammate who's also best in Australia and one of the best athletes in the world. Don't feel so defeated that you got scored on this one time or that you couldn't score on them this one time. Because as you said, the next day it flips and it's the other way around. You know? Yeah. It was a very tit for tat sort of thing, which as a team, that's what you want. But you don't want a couple of fighters that are just destroying the rest of the team.
Yeah.
You want everybody to be at the same level, everybody able to score on each other. So,
and you want that at training too, you know. You want to be able to try and learn and do new things and accidentally get scored on and learn from it, because that's where you can learn and grow, you know. That's the space to do it. Even though we can all be really hard on ourselves and it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
That's what it takes. We want to try and achieve something that hasn't been done in a long, long time. So we've got to do something that hasn't been done before. So.
Yeah.
And I think we're all doing it in a great way as well. Like, as much as we compete and push each other on, like in the dojo and stuff, and it was shown in the last day when we had the round robin matches. Like this, it was fun, but we were competitive.
Oh yeah.
And then afterwards, like whatever we're doing after that in the house, watching movies, like I think the connection piece of that is really like essential, because we can push each other, but if that relationship is tarnished on the outside, I just don't think we're playing to our strengths in that sense.
I think that's important with the movement that's happening now as well. Like we're all trying to have more camaraderie, come together as a team, really try to do that, force everyone into a training camp where you're living in the same house together. You know, at this moment in time, it's really important to understand that friendship and that team environment is more important at this moment, you know, to push forward for Australian karate.
That is a fantastic segue into the second half of the training camp, which was Mark and Marco.
Yeah.
because that's what I wanted to say. So Robin had to take off, and Mark and Marco couldn't make it for the first half, so it was a bit of a switch up. I wanted to say for their training from the get-go, the game you guys were playing, what was it like? Dojo football or something like that?
Dojo ball or something
Dojo ball, yeah. So it was, you had to get it to the other end, and you had teams, and Mark and Marco joined in, and you could see that culture that was, just vibing. Everybody was having fun, and so the coaches were getting involved as well. It wasn't like, we'll just stand on the sidelines and just watch these athletes muck around for a bit as a warm-up. It was like, let's get involved. Like, we're all a team, we're all in this together, and let's all have fun. So they're
just as competitive as we are, to be honest. Yeah. They were like arguing whether it touched the ground or not. Or, you know what I mean? I think I actually bumped into Marco once, and I was scared for my wife. I was like, oh gosh, am I going to die now?
Mark came and jumped in front of me, and I was like, oh my goodness. Like,
do anything for the point.
Yeah.
Imagine fighting him in his prime.
Yeah, that would actually be crazy.
Just now, actually. Yeah. I mean, is there much of a difference between Marco's prime and what he's at now?